Hey everybody, Chris Myers here with the Orlando Property Group, and I wanted to talk to you today about Zillow and whether or not you can really trust those Zestimates that they give. So I'm going to do a little reading today because I want to make sure I get all the facts straight for you, get the numbers accurate. But to start, a couple of years ago, the CEO of Zillow sold his property. It was valued on Zillow with their Zestimate at $1.75 million. What was the final sales price? $1.05 million, a difference of $700,000. Do you think he should have trusted that Zestimate? Well, so when you go to Zillow, you're able to see something called the Zestimate, which kind of gives you a general idea of what your property is worth. However, we find those to be extremely inaccurate, and I'll share a little bit more about that with you here. So according to Zillow's website, a Zestimate is a starting point in determining a home's value. It's not an appraisal. The Zestimate is based on public and user-submitted data. The trick here is the user-submitted data, which can create some big discrepancies. So public data is usually fairly accurate, as it includes information about the square footage, bedrooms, bathrooms, things like that. The problem is that they also rely on user-submitted data. Now, if you're a homeowner who wants to sell your house, you know that people are, going to be looking at that Zestimate, you might want to try to beef that up, right? And, embellish a little bit on some of the upgrades, the size of the house, the size of the lot, and you can change that data somewhat. So this is where you've got to be careful as a consumer looking for your own home's value, because it can be very inaccurate depending upon what your neighbors have done. So Zillow goes on to say they encourage homeowners to supplement this estimate by speaking with a real estate agent, getting a comparative market analysis, getting an appraiser to visit the house. After all, Zillow has never been to your house. So that Zestimate has no idea how your house stacks up against the other houses competing against you in the market. So Zestimates can be manipulated by an owner or an agent. Now, if you live in an area of greater Orlando that the homes are very similar. Like the neighborhood I live in, the homes are very cookie cutter. There are only a few different floor plans, and there's a lot of very similar data to go off of. So the Zestimate can be more accurate in those cases. If you live in a more rural area, or you live in some of the more eclectic areas where the homes are very different, such as near downtown Orlando, Winter Park, College Park, places like that, the Zestimates can vary greatly. Now, here are some of the stats. Zillow even admits that more than 90% of the homes in the Orlando area have Zestimates that are within 20% of the final sales price. So that means if you have a $400,000 house, your Zestimate could be $80,000 too much or $80,000 too little. It can really vary greatly. This is why you really need to get in touch with a local expert like myself, and I can help you get the most accurate comparative market analysis possible. Very, very similar to what an appraiser is going to do for you. Now, one thing I like to compare it to is WebMD. So Zillow is like WebMD, where if you're curious about an illness, you think you may have something, you might go to WebMD just to research that, but you're not going to treat it through WebMD. You're going to actually go see a doctor when there's something really wrong. Just like if you're just curious about your value, Zillow's fine. But if you really want to decide if selling is right for you right now based upon the value, give me a call. I'm happy to do a very accurate and detailed analysis for you. So I look forward to talking to you soon. Hope you have a wonderful day. Take care.